Yo, what's up, KSD family? What's up, KSD Network? Sorry for the background noise. Unfortunately, I have a friend over. He's visiting. He's watching some YouTube videos in the background. But today, I know it's a little bit overdue. I know it's a little bit late. But today, people, we're going to be doing a figurine review on the Bandai Tamashii Nation's model kit, 1 in 100 scale. Modern, XA Dark Matter. This model kit is interesting. It's really, really interesting. It was a really, really tiring, stress, hair pulling experience building this model kit. At some point in time, I actually thought I genuinely broke this model kit, or misplaced a part in it where I couldn't fix it, but unfortunately, I did look up some research and looked up some forums and found out that everything I was doing was okay. Now, is this going to be a top-notch, top-shelf model kit build? No, I'm not guaranteeing you that. I did use stickers, the bane of all model kit builders' existence. And if anything, this thing can't really stand up on its own, and that's one of the features that I don't like about this figure. But let's get into detail of it. The sculpting and the framing on this figure, this model kit is amazing. It is like top notch, top shelf. It's really good. Its values up to $59.99 on any website, Amazon, even their own website where you get the model kits from, like Bandai Tamashii Nation model kits. I think Louis Toy Store probably carries them. Hobby stores online, most of the comic shops that do it, they actually, would recommend this. It took me, on the average, 2.5 months, and a week to finish this model kit due to the fact that of my busy schedule. And if it's up to a person that doesn't really have a busy schedule like I do, by all means, it'll take about 2.5 weeks, or a week, or probably a day, depending on how you want to build the model kit. Now, if you're painting it, sculpting it, detailing it yourself, it may take up to the length of time that it took me to build this. But as far as anything, this figure looks great. It comes with a ton of accessories. On average, if you build a model kit, it comes with at least 5 accessories, 7 if you're counting the little daggers right here, which you can't really place them in anything. Honestly, you really can't place them in any part of this model kit. Look at the detailing on these daggers. These are pretty dope. Also, I will let you know, be careful when you place these daggers, because I did break the tip of this dagger. Hold on, let me see close in there. There you go. Yeah, that tip part right there was not supposed to be chipped. Other than that, these parts will come off very slightly easy. He comes with the dual wielding swords on the side. The fire sword, which has this. Oh, see, it's one of the negative parts I'm going to get into. Translucent one's the fire, the other one's the ice. Even though it just looks like a regular big aft sword. The back part is the other attachment, which I like this kind of figure because it kind of has that laser beak, shockwave relationship with this whole entire design. And you'll see what I mean when we get into the figure more often. The shield does kind of expand itself in a way to where like these two red parts kind of separate a little bit. The melee pistol is what I call it. Is a really good and interesting addition to it because it basically it's a part of it that doesn't fall off. And no matter how you peg it into the hand, because normally this part wasn't here, any parts like these don't peg into the hands that well, and they don't stay sturdy or solid. I don't know if that's just something with my model kit or just something in general. But at the same time, the hands are a little bit too small, and for a fellow with big aft hands like myself, it's kind of hard to really mess with this figure a lot. My apologies. And other than that, this is a really great model kit. My only gripes with this model kit is This thing has serious weak AF joints. I mean weak AF. And I'm not saying ASS AF joints. I never curse on my channel. I rarely do. But I say weak AF joints. Because you can normally... here's the thing. I do have model kits outside of this one. But unfortunately, my Dynames, my 1-in-1 scale Dynames was... I have a bad luck with Dynames, or Dynames, however you pronounce them, but I call him Dynames. I have a bad luck with him, and every time I own a model kit of Dynames, someone knocks it down and breaks the same leg that broke a couple of years ago when I first got a Dynames in 1/100 scale. For some reason, this nightmare of a model kit is the only thing that has actually fell off a shelf and has never broken. But Dynames, which is a more solid model kit than this thing right here, that's just one of my personal questions. Anyways, normal 1/100 scales are usually sturdy and can actually stand. I will say the backpack does have a little weight to it, but that's only just because it's mostly heavier plastic and heavier material on the back of this figure. There's really no way to support all of that. You can just basically knock this table or bump it, and this thing falls on its face or falls backwards with no problem at all. And that's a huge, like, kind of glaring, like, a very bad glaring point, in my opinion. The feet are just, in my opinion, even design-wise, it's a little misproportioned. They could have put a lot more support in the feet and the ankles where the joints were at least a little bit tighter, in my opinion. Not to really trash the designer of this model kit, but in all means, it's really, like I said, I love this model kit. I really do. And not just only that, the transformation is easy. The fact that you can port an LED unit right in the back of this this here model kit by simply just removing this part right here, and I'll show you later on in the video. Removing this part, taking this part out, there's an LED unit that you can install in here, and it shows a flashing light. The LED unit portrays the fact that the core is basically active and it's moving, just like the other 00 Gundam, the main character's Gundam, I believe. Other than that, like I said, like I'm doing now, I literally have to work with the feet just so this thing can stand. I should not have to do that. I really should not have to do that. And I feel like that's a really huge point off of this figure. Other than that, the design, the framework, the color, even without it being painted, is a beautiful form to a model kit. And I love it. I mean, the posability is good. You have a slight double jointed knee. I don't know why the knee pads are on a joint, but I guess it's to give that added effect of mechanized feeling to it when you pose it. I mean, I usually call that idea Michael Bay aesthetic. What I mean by the Michael Bay aesthetic, that mostly every part of a figure has a joint. What I mean by that is, if you really come in close on it, sorry about that, right here, you can see that this chest is open, capable of opening, and even then, it's kind of hard. Also, I will let you know, the ear parts right here, where the horns are, or the feelers, hold on, right up here, they do have a tendency to come off. They don't peg in like the other translucent joints in the sword, and the translucent clear parts, circular parts in the sword and in the calves. They don't stick in there. They actually just kind of sit in there, while the ear parts wedge against the sides of the forehead. And that's another point against it. Like I said, I subtract the model kits by 20. I literally subtract 5 off of everything. And I'm taking 5 points off for the ankles, and unfortunately taking 5 points off for the ears. Other than that, this part does remove, and that's why I said the Michael Bay aesthetic comes in. This part right here has a joint, and within this part is on a ball joint right here. That part is in a joint of its own, and this is on a hinge joint. So everything has joints, and everything is capable of moving on its own cognizance to make it look more or feel more robotically realistic. which is not a bad thing if you were going for that aesthetic. But unfortunately, it really isn't my thing. And honestly, I'm not trying to say the guy was going to go for a Michael Bay aesthetic, but that's what I call it in a way, as far as model kit designs. And see, it's kind of hard to. God dang it! See, I barely even touched it, and the thing already fell over. Jesus. And these ankle joints and leg joints are so weak, it's like not even funny. It really isn't. But you want to even that whole entire chest piece out. But let's get into the forms changer right here. Now, what you can't tell is on the back of this here model kit that this is another part. And this is what I meant by a laser beak sound wave relationship kind of thing. So what we do is we go right here. We take this part out gently. Right here. Right there where that little peg right there is. Right here. Kind of maneuver that out. And it leaves this gaping hole right here. Now you can fill that gaping hole with, another part, but it has to be different. You have to get the other part. And I don't feel like going into the box to get it. And you set this to the side right here. Just slide him right over here. The little hip, dang it. The little hip guard right here. I mean, the side holsters for the swords, they do kind of stick out sometimes. You will have to deal with that at some point in time or another. The swords do get in the way of standing this thing up straight too. But it's nothing to be really complacent about. Let's set him to the side real quick. Now, this looks like a normal jetpack, but if you follow directions, you should be able to get it right after building this model kit. So you kind of straighten out the wings real quick, and then you rotate the backpack basically facing up. You rotate the wings, and rotate these, and spread them out, and open them up. Take this, bring the head up. So got a little evil looking crane thing. And bring that in. These parrots do kind of slide off a little bit if you maneuver the legs in a certain way. And you just kind of put the pegs right back in until you want to reattach this here figure. Like I said, these things are on an individual joint at the bottom, as well as other joints. Like I said, the Michael Bay aesthetic mechanic to this. I wouldn't say aesthetic, more of mechanic to everything. And one. And there you go. Oh. Go. And that was that Laserbeak aesthetic I was telling you about. The whole symbiotic thing between Laserbeak and the other Gundam model kit. Now, as far as anything else, its wingspan actually gets a lot bigger if you put it on its own model kit stand. You can get one. You can get a Bandai Tamashii Nation Act 5 1-on-1 scale stand from anywhere. It ranges from $5 to $2. But I managed to get this one for cheap because one of my friends had one, and I got one off of him. It was for only $1 because it was like really old. So yeah, I got that for free. Dang there. But other than that, this model kit looks pretty dope. I would totally recommend this model kit to anyone. My apologies. It's a great value. It's a great price. It's decent at best. You will spend a lot of time actually dealing with this model kit at some point in time. It's really fun. The payout, I will give it that, is good. So my rating on this, out of everything, is 10. It gets a 10. It gets a straight up 10. It normally would get a 20 because if I did Dynamies, which I do plan on doing Dynamies next year on March, and this time I will finish that model kit before March Mech Madness comes back around. Like I said, I'm going to do a model kit once every year or every few years. But like I said, this model kit here, I wish I can give it a better rating than what I gave it. My apologies. And honestly, I wish it could have done a lot better, but it falls short of a lot of things. And far as posability, sturdiness, as big as this figure is, it's sturdy, it's solid. And the parts that are on this figure that are solid don't need to be. And the parts that should be solid aren't. And that's where I had to take 2 5s out of the 20 that I was going to give this model kit. At the end of the day, it's a great figure. The payout is great. It looks dope. It looks awesome. I love it. I still like this figure, regardless of its flaws. It's still one of the few favorites of my Gundam Wing model kits. But that's it for today. I'm glad that you all got to see this. I'm sorry it was overdue. It was a belated March Mech Madness month review. It was supposed to be a lot earlier than before. Here he is on the Bandai Tamashii Nation Act 5 stand, 1:1 scale. He does not fit that well on there. Unfortunately, I just got this from a friend. I didn't know what exact specific stand to get for him. Other than that, like I said, I really thank you all for being so patient with me. I really do appreciate this. Like I said, next year we'll do a lot better and have a lot bigger schedule for a month March Madness, March Mech Madness. My apologies, I keep forgetting. But other than that, thank you. This has been the Collectibles and Gear Review on the Chaos TV channel. I'm your boy Chaos. Chaos Leader, Chaos Hero. Sorry, I'm a little bit dreary. I'm a little tired because I had to wake up early at the crack of dawn to do this. Because I got to straighten up my house, as you can see in the background. Unfortunately, I've been doing some projects as far as TCG is concerned. But other than that, this has been the Gundam Wing model kit. This has been the Gundam Wing model kit review on the Gundam Wing model Dark Matter X-Aid. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Thank you for all of your support. And hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. See ya.